Love the double bass kick pedal in the background.
Yeah, there's like a fucking metal drummer
Yeah.
in the background. It's so fucking loud.
Hopefully it won't pick up.
There's just something called the ICMP at the moment, which is that's where you see all of a bunch of 17-year-olds hanging around and being all happy and fresh and everything.
They've got hope. They've got hope.
Exactly.
It gives the podcast some background music.
Yeah.
I guess so. Well,
It's not
depends.
copyrighted, to be fair, so it won't get taken down.
Even if it's copyrighted, you can't say what he's playing.
I think it's probably like a nasty breakdown.
Yeah,
I think
some
we've got a nasty
stanky
break
film.
going. Yeah, some sempiternal. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Ace Persona podcast. This is
how we doing,
episode
everybody?
2. Today we'll be talking about.
Let's start again. I fucked that one.
Hello everybody. Welcome back to the Ace Persona podcast. This is episode 2. Today we'll be talking about Time Goes Back Around. I thought I'd just quickly introduce myself and let the rest of the band do that as well. I'm Aiden. I'm the bass player and recording and mixing engineer for the band.
I'm Oscar. I'm Oscar. I do drums in it. Yeah.
I'm Alex. I write the songs, I sing the songs, and I play rhythm guitar.
I'm Jude. I play the lead guitar.
So yeah, I just wanted to kind of start things off now with. Thank you, Oscar.
Yes,
I've decided to
you're
write down
welcome.
the questions this time. It's more professional. I didn't do that for the first episode.
I kind of like the conversational tone, though. You
Yeah,
don't have to
yeah.
be super.
Yeah, we're not going to be too serious.
Let's freeball it, man.
I just want to
freeball
remember.
that shit.
All right, you know what? Freeball it.
Froze my phone across the room.
Motherfucker. I just wanted to know, Alex, where did the song come from?
I'm glad you asked. Aiden. So this is an interesting one, actually. This came to me when I was stranded in a little town in Australia called Leighton Town, I believe. I just missed the train, last train back to Melbourne. And there's only like one thing a week or something because it's some like but nowhere town. And I'd just been kicked off a farm. COVID was kicking off. They were like, oh yeah, no foreigners off the farm. Don't touch my products. I was like, okay, fair. So I'm stranded in this town. I'm in like some dingy motel. Downstairs is like truckers and motorbike gangs and shit. Dodgy place.
Jesus.
So I spend most of my time in this hotel. And I have like a little classical guitar with me. I just start writing. And it sort of came from there. It was like a scenario where I imagined this girl at a bar. We're kind of drunk. We're the last few people there. We get to chatting. We have a great chat. And then just sort of comes to nothing or it comes to something. I don't know. Next day, you don't know. It's gone. It's kind of a love story. Yeah. A bit of a love story, I guess.
It's got like a bit of like grief in there in a way.
A bit of grief. It's like I'm expecting more, but more didn't come, I guess.
More didn't come. It's quite like, I remember the first time I heard that song was just like, I remember initially hearing it just going, holy fuck. I don't know what it was. I think first for me it was the actual chords that you chose and the kind of songwriting approaches that you took. But then over time, the more I kind of looked into those lyrics, it was like there's like a story, there's like something.
There's a deeper
like a special,
meaning.
yeah.
There's like, well, I was more referring to, because that song sort of merged from 2 songs. The part where I'm saying about like, tell me who you are throughout the night, where I'm like, that's the Australia bit. And then, do you recall when it was you think? That was more of a sullen sort of sad song that merged together. And that's more about miscommunication, both feeling sort of bad and like not really being able to communicate and get your points across. And
Yeah, there's a real melancholy to it. It's like happy and sad.
it's very melancholic,
Yeah.
for sure. It's bittersweet in a way.
Bittersweet. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't like to think too much into like the lyrics or I like it to be down to interpretation a lot of the time, but it always stems from something. So yeah, this is a bit close to my mouth.
It's nice for people though to
reference,
hear where it came from, because most people would not expect that you wrote that in Australia.
Some butt
the
town,
story behind
stranded
it,
little-
yeah.
What were you guys kind of like when you first heard the songs? What were your thoughts?
I mean, so I first heard the demo. I was in my kitchen. I think it was like late at night. I was a little bit drunk.
Perfect.
And it just hit me right in the feels, man. I remember like just the single tear, and then more tears, and yeah, man, fucking hit me right in the feels. I was like, yeah, we need to get this song out, because it's like it was just a demo at that point. I was like, I need to drum on this, and I need to like play it live and not cry while playing it. And now when I play it, I'm just like, oh, here we go again. This is the millionth time, but it still holds a very special place in my heart because it's a beautiful song. You wrote a very beautiful song, man. So for me, it was a gut wrencher, because I've been going through some personal things at the time, and when you sort of apply it to your own situation,
exactly,
and you start thinking about certain people, and it just sort of renders you.
I don't like to sound too wanky, but when I listen to songs like that, I really appreciate them. And any song I try to write with deep meaning, I just wish that someone else could feel that sort of appreciation I've felt for songs. So that's always my goal. It's like, that's why it's down to interpretation. There's no like specifics. You can sort of, attribute it to your life. That's kind of what I tried to do.
You can do that with your lyrics. It's very easy to just kind of.
And
I originally thought the song was a song about a couple who, like, one of them recently passed away, and like the other one's recalling the good memories that they had.
It could be seen as that as well.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It just goes everywhere. But Jude, what about yourself? Like, do you remember what happened when you first heard the song?
Not quite, actually, because it was in the process of writing all of those songs before you joined Oscar. So we're just bashing through songs. It was, I don't know, maybe 5-6 songs a session. I think it was in that room too. I remember going there and getting the bottleneck to do some stuff, but I can't exactly remember just a lot of songs. I was just like, okay, what can I do on this? What can I do on that one? What can I do on that one? What can I do? And
you were thinking more from like a guitar perspective,
from
like
musical perspective, because I was already, the first time I heard it, I had to come up with the guitar part.
Of course.
Yeah,
I still remember. I think I've actually still got that video of you going off. That was with Kevin. And you went off and you picked up the bottleneck, and I just remember like looking, going, oh, I think I'll probably put that in the video.
But it's a really nice song, too. I like it. It's the fact that the lyrics are open as well. You can kind of interpret it in any way you want. That's the kind of.
Are you like a lyric guy when it comes to songs?
Not at all. Most of the time, I don't even listen to the lyrics.
That's fair.
I mean, I've been playing with some artists for like a year. I still don't know the lyrics of the songs, but
there we go.
It's really bad. But then again, I read your lyrics. I'm actually aware of what you're saying in the songs.
Okay, that's good.
Because of, I'm aware of what's happening. Nice. But but the lyrics are still like, of course, I read a lot of books. I do a lot of stuff, so I'm obviously sensible to the lyrics.
But like when it comes to music, you get to like the theoretical thing, right? Is that what it is?
A bit more of the. I focus more on the music and the music, the instrumental part, the instrumentation part of it than the actual
I wish I
lyrics.
had a bit more of that, to be honest. Like
you don't need it to write songs, so in a way,
it's nice to know what you're doing.
That's why we've all kind of like. That's the cool thing about the band. It just kind of,
Yeah, there's a synergy there, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. We all just kind of play off each other's like own strengths, and then that's what makes us unique.
I'm writing about this song actually currently for one of my like retake uni things, and like it's took so many changes over like 2-3 years. Started out very different, and I don't know if I can't show it here, but. Like from what it started to where it is now is such a vast difference. It's quite interesting.
Got a version. I was actually thinking about this today. Like, holy fuck, this song has like come from a very different place.
Oh yeah.
Because originally it was a hip hop song.
Well, it's probably come from a different place from there as well.
Really? Because you've got the version still on your own SoundCloud.
I do.
It was originally a yodeling song.
Yeah.
It was like trap yodel. You were yodeling. There was a trap beat.
Trodel. And then it went on to a tech death song.
Yeah.
Then we went back into that kind of Irish tradition.
Yeah.
It just keeps going, man.
Yeah.
I like my favorite version is the sea shanty.
Yes.
Sea shanty.
From all of this, did our approach kind of feel any different to Waiting for the Rain? Because obviously I just remembered like how you
it was
just
way
saying,
more simpler because it wasn't so complex. It was quite straightforward. The chords were still a bit interesting. They weren't straightforward, but the melody was there. It was simple, sort of sullen, slow, melancholic, as Oscar said.
To be fair, it was, because the way we recorded it, if I remember correctly, we did the guitars then you did the bass and the guitars and vocals, then you did the bass, then Oscar did the drums.
Yeah.
Well, Oscar is always last, apparently.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
Apart from that.
When really you should be first, probably.
Well, no, because I like to have the whole song kind of first, because I feel like I really line up with the, especially on that song, I really line up with the hits of the chords on the snare.
Okay, nice, yeah.
It's like they're so. I don't know.
Interesting.
But I pretty much copied the MIDI that you
That's
had.
what I mean. Yeah, we're always
MIDI
playing
drums.
to like Kyle on Logic Pro.
yeah. But I mean, it's a good. I mean, I changed it a little bit, but like it's got a good
Oh, that's interesting.
system, I guess. So it kind of it sounds good.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, that's been my process with everything. Apart from Wait for the Rain, which was I didn't do the MIDI drums or what the old drummer was doing.
Have you heard the MIDI drums of Waiting for the Rain? Yeah, that's why.
It's
Yeah.
fucking mental.
Yeah.
It's just like heavy, like
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
from start to
yeah.
finish.
That's why I couldn't do that. But with Wait for the Rain, I just pretty much copied the MIDI drum.
Yeah.
Sorry to admit.
Well, I mean, at the end of the
creativity.
day, it's still
If
your,
it ain't
like,
broke,
your own
don't fix it.
interpretation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a little bit of me in there.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely very you.
Yeah.
It's definitely very you. Like, I'm such a big fan of this song. Like, at the moment I knew I was getting to work on it, I was like, oh. And I was like, but, you know, it's so groovy, but it needs the right drum groove. And I feel like you did nail it. Like, I feel
Absolutely,
like you did nail
yeah.
it.
Cheers, guys.
But yeah, when it came to, for me, I think what a big part that played in actually kind of coming up with all the parts of this song was the light. You're good.
Yeah, just some feedback behind me.
Yeah, but when it came to actually arranging the track, I feel like we've been really leaning into live, like really leaning into live. And
100%,
like,
yeah,
how do you
yeah.
think live music, like our live performance of this track, affected the overall outcome? Do you feel like it had a part to play in it?
Not really, because we recorded it before we actually played it live, didn't we?
Yeah, this one I think we recorded first and then stuck to that.
We stuck to
More
the. I
live.
mean, yeah, in a way, yes, because we stuck to the studio version live, which we didn't for some tracks, or we changed a few bits here and there. But it's pretty much the same versions, apart from.
It used to be longer though, right?
Yes.
Live.
Me-
Used to
In
play
the
a bit
recorded
longer.
version, it used to be longer, and then we shortened it down for
shortened
the
it down.
live.
We bring
and
it
then
back
over
for a powerful chorus at the end,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
repeat the
yeah.
chorus heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did change a few.
Then eventually, like, I think that was where I noticed the change from live, because then I think I remember you coming to me and saying like, it just, the way that we play it live feels better because it feels like it kind of comes to a close a lot nicer after the solo. So I feel like in a way live did have like some sort of effect on the overall outcome, but
Yeah, but it's always
in terms of like actual arrangement, I don't know about.
it's always the way you test a song as well. To be fair, if it works live, it's probably going to work in the studio with a bit more fancy stuff happening. But
Yeah.
in a way, I don't see a song that doesn't work live and we kept. And to be fair, we haven't tried any so far. But to me, if something doesn't work live, I'm not sure we should actually keep it
At all.
I'm not. I'm not sure. That's the thing, because those artists who are just who have songs on their albums that they never play live is just a weird thing to me. If I play music, it's more to do live music than recorded stuff. Like there's some Beatles stuff. I love them, but you can't play that live.
No.
I mean, I've seen A Day in the Life live once. It was impressive. It wasn't by the Beatles.
Yeah.
But it was impressive.
I didn't know you were a time traveler.
It's such a hard song to play because of all the weird breakdown shit and all the weird like changing between the two songs, the Paul's and John's one. I guess I don't know. I think you need to be able to play your songs live, even in a twisted way or with a different arrangement. But even then, I don't know. If it works live, it's going to work in the studio. The opposite isn't true, but I'm not a fan of that opposite not being true in a way.
So there's like a lot of Stroke songs that they have on their albums, which they don't do live, which I love. But I see what you mean. I don't know. It depends really. Depends on the concept of like the album or something you're doing. If you want just some like stuff to put in the background here and there in between the big songs, I think that's all right.
Yeah. Well, it's like when a band releases a new album, and they do a tour for that album and play it pretty much like back to back.
Yeah,
Like I feel like when Green Day released like American Idiot and stuff like that, it was just like playing the whole of that catalogue.
Yeah.
Maybe missing out like the interludes and stuff.
Yeah,
but like
I love the interlude.
I do love a cheeky interlude.
Yeah. Like the interlude before the encore as well.
I remember the like Slim Shady EPs or whatever. His interludes were like skits and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
he
so
had like
funny. I love
comedy stuff. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about during an album as well?
Yeah, like he has them in his album, like little skits and like funny bits. I like that shit. It's like personal. It's like, ooh,
I think
just for you kind of thing.
kind of like there's like a couple Radiohead albums which do the same. Like
Oh, Tom York definitely does that shit.
Oh yeah,
he's a weird guy.
There's one more question I do have to ask Jude. Why the bottleneck?
I don't know. That's how it came up in my head. To be fair,
Because afterwards we looked at like references, but why did you initially go to the bottleneck first?
I don't know actually. It's the first one I did with the bottleneck in that writing session, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's just I was trying to find something to add texture more than anything else. Because Alex's chords, especially in that one, are so heavy in terms of notes. There's a lot of notes, there's a lot of harmony, there's a lot of information. So I felt I needed more to do textual stuff. Which in a way, what I'm playing, I can't exactly remember the actual notes relating to the harmony, but it's basically 1-5-4, something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a bass line, really.
Yeah.
So, but 2 octaves higher.
Yeah. Very much.
So, I don't know, it needed to be textual
Yeah.
more than it needed to be a harmony information. So I think the bottleneck is something really helpful to the textures. I think that's why, to be fair.
Yeah, it's like a different layer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you've got to separate. It's got to...
And to be fair, that's what we did in the solo, actually. There's an entire bit of the solo that's doubled on the bottleneck, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. During the solo, you've got the bottleneck.
Just
going.
for texture, because you can't really hear it on the bottleneck on the track.
No.
But it's just a textural thing.
I love it. It's very country music to me. It's very like what is it called? The lap steels.
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
put on country music, and I was like, this is like throwing in a bunch of different things into like an R&B soul rock tune.
Yeah.
Anyone I've showed the track to, as soon as the first little slide comes in, they're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's really, it was a great choice.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But overall, I feel like it's been a pleasure to work on this one. It's definitely one of my favorite songs. I think it might be my number one song that not only that we worked on, but just like in terms of, I think it's the most like songwriter song kind of to me. Like,
and it's always gotten a good reception live.
Yeah.
I feel like it's never not been received well. Because I think we've got like in the set list at the minute, like obviously it's going to change and stuff, but at the minute there's like, we start quite heavy time, and then like, I think sometimes you can like fatigue the audience a little bit with just like, it's like a constant a pummeling of just like energy. And if people aren't there for that, like we're not like a punk band. People aren't ready for the, we're not on like a punk bill, but we have like punkier songs. But then when you just sort of drop this one in, it's like this, oh man, it's like it washes over people. It's a bit more like slow. And
it takes its
people have a little
time,
groove.
but it's kind of more like well worth it by the chorus. I think. Like you definitely take your time, but then you get there and you're like, wow, okay. The song really opens up. There was a couple like times where we've seen people like slow dancing to that one, which is like
a couple of my mates. I don't know if they were doing it ironically. They could have been ironic, or they could have been genuinely having a lovely time. But they were
doing it like this.
No, they were slow dancing.
So
man.
sick.
Yeah. Thumbs up, smiling.
Yeah, I was like fake dancing actually.
You snake.
I don't know if I want to say it's gonna be more anticipated than Wait for the Rain or more enjoyed, but I think
it's
personally,
easier to listen to.
Yeah.
Gauges a wider audience for sure.
Yeah.
It's shorter as well.
Yeah, sure.
It's much shorter.
It's not 25
true.
minutes long.
Oh,
It's,
I think we should wrap things up now. Unless there's anything else you guys wanted to add on or Ask or
Any truth bombs anyone wants to?
yeah.
Okay, I've got something to admit. We did it. We're done.
You tell it.
The track's out on the 28th, y'all.
This is probably coming out after the 28th.
Track's out already, y'all. Enjoy it.
Come see it live.
Yeah, come see it live.
Stay posted.
And find the track on all favorite major streaming platforms. We've been Ace Persona, and thank you for listening. Peace out.
Bye.
Mashallah.
See ya. Bye.
Time